Hi guys, I hope you are well. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend, whatever you got up to. In terms of the charts this week, we're off to a weird start because it is a US bank holiday today. Today is Monday, the 20th of January. But we've also got red folder news here. This has got added on a little bit later because obviously this is the day Trump's going to be speaking. He's going to be taking his throne and things like that. But it should be a day where obviously the markets aren't open. So there's going to be some weird volatility in the market, I feel. And this is always a time I would say don't trade. Just sit out of the markets and wait and see what happens with price. Because a lot of you will predict that price will shoot in a certain direction, and that's absolutely fine if you get it right, but you are equally as likely to get it wrong when you start trading events like this that are not frequent. This obviously happens once every 4 5 years, whatever it is. You obviously want to be cautious when it comes to these events. This is not an event that happens a lot. It's the same with NFP. You just avoid trading one particular Friday of every single month. Now, looking ahead to the rest of the week, the day after a bank holiday, and this is a little secret about the markets, the day after a bank holiday in your particular currency that you're trading is often higher risk. It is not as high in probability. So this could be a day which you could potentially look to avoid trading as well, especially if you are on the lower timeframes, because it's not going to be the most favorable conditions because essentially it's like the start of the proper week because we haven't really done any movement today. I would expect, looking at this particular event of news here, that we essentially probably create high low of the week with this area, and then towards the back end of the week, we will create the opposite, the higher low of that week. My my prediction would be that on Wednesday will be a continuation day, like most Wednesdays are, and then on Friday we would probably retrace back into whatever area of inefficiency has been left on a higher time frame from whatever range has been created with this particular area right here. And I think Tuesday is just going to be a day. It's just going to be low in probability, higher risk. So I wouldn't look to really engage with anything in there anyway. So the first thing I do, and we can't do this as well with regards to Forex and the dollar because this is last week's previous week high and low. And obviously today the market on the pound and euro has been open. So we are currently trading above previous week highs, which would mean the dollar should attack this particular low tomorrow. Now, if it doesn't, that is going to give us divergence in the market. But the market, the DXY, is a day behind at this particular moment in time. So I imagine that when the market opens, which is going to be in 8 hours and 17 minutes, I would imagine what is likely to happen is a huge gap in price action just to catch up with whatever has gone on here. So again, I really wouldn't look to start engaging with this particular thing that we need because we need to try to trade. For me personally, to trade euro, to trade pound, I need the DXY to be in sync with the same price action, and everything is just a little bit off at the moment. So maybe we wait for the open, maybe we see how far it gaps, but we don't want to be trading until the DXY is open and we have a narrative on where this is potentially going to go. But the first thing we do here, we mark out previous week highs, previous week lows, because the previous week highs and lows are often draws on liquidity. Okay, they're often decent draws on liquidity. Now we swept this internal liquidity from this huge range here on a discount level. So, and we haven't yet taken this level of liquidity here. So there's every chance this is going to cause some form of reversal, but we are currently working out of this fair value gap as well. So the other thing you want to look to do when you come down is just mark out again the previous day highs and lows, because that is always going to be a catalyst for areas of liquidity. I would probably mark out today's highs and lows ready for tomorrow or Wednesday. That would give you a better draw on essential areas of liquidity, because you can see here today we've done quite a lot of movement in volatility, which if you were on my story on Instagram, if you're watching this in real time or play out today, you would obviously have seen that I said volatility can come into the market at any particular point. So We just don't know when it's going to obviously happen. We can see that today we have created a lot of movement on euro, but not as much movement on pound. And obviously, this is Friday's candle right here today. Nothing has happened in far of the DXY yet. So everything that's going on today is not something I would look to be basically engaging with. I just want to see what price is going to do when it plays out to how we want it to obviously play out. So I'm not even going to really commit to a certain directional bias yet. The only thing I would really look to say is with regards to the DXY is that we've obviously we've got this level of liquidity taken here. That's a logical area of liquidity, sorry, because it's a weekly high, but it's not the previous week high, if that makes sense. So I feel like, again, I've been bullish on the DXY for such a long time, and I am still. Last week I was talking about this level here. I really do feel like we are just working out of bullish price action at the moment. I just feel like this is just going to carry on moving higher. And if we are sweeping the previous week high already, if we attack this low tomorrow or we create divergence between DXY and euro and pound, I just feel like this is going to continue moving higher. But we do have to obviously wait and see what happens. I would love to see price attack this level of liquidity right here because we have got an area of imbalance that would bring us back into a discount range if this is going to be the chosen range. We haven't got a swing point high just yet because we need another candle with a wick that's going to finish lower. So as of now, this range has not yet been completed. And I need to see whether we're just going to carry on moving higher or lower. And with regards to the weekly, I would assume the weekly will just carry on respecting until these areas of imbalance don't get respected. So until we start breaking ourselves lower on the daily time frame, which we are not currently doing at the moment, I mean, anyone can just see with this here, this is the kind of movement. It's bullish. It's very, very bullish. So I feel like that is going to be a catalyst to see what we do. If we want bullish price action on the dollar, we would want bearish price action on euro and on pound. And taking the previous week high could be the perfect stretch for manipulation for us to end up targeting the previous week low. But as I say, we need to start doing something on a smaller time frame. This is obviously today's price action, and we can't see today's price action on the dollar yet because we're not open yet. So yeah, at the moment, I still see bullish movement just in terms of higher probable situations until we do start really hammering it down a little bit lower, even on the 1 hour time frame. You know, we have been a little bit lower this, as of last week, but even now we are starting to just push higher. This wick came all the way down on Friday, swept below those lows, and have just been pushing higher. So as of right now, I do still feel like, with a 4 hour change in state of delivery, we haven't got a fair value gap or anything like that yet. Or an inverse fair value gap that we can kind of see because this is very wicky. What I mean by that is there's a lot of wick price action going on. It's all rebalancing out. It's sweeping highs, sweeping lows, and that kind of thing. So at the moment, there's no point in going lower. There's no point in going low. We want to see what's essentially going to happen for the week. We're marking out these levels. And the same thing is now being said with regards to indices. And looking at these particular indices here, we are moving today. Okay, we are moving today on these particular stocks. We have already swept across the board the previous week highs, and now we have the previous week lows in target. My overall prediction in terms of all of these assets is very, very bullish. Very, very bullish. Working out of that fair value gap right there, working out of that order block there, working out of this order block here, just to carry on moving in a bullish direction. I've been bullish for just a long time with regards to the DXY. It's very clear, again, working out of these huge areas. I just feel like we're just looking to target the all-time high. So my target basically with regards to the NASDAQ is that high there. And once again, I'm looking to target the exact same areas here. We have had more downward movement with regards to Dow, and I don't usually like to trade Dow. If I'm trading any of these pairs, it's more typically the NASDAQ and the S&P rather than this one here. But just because we're targeting this level here, what we could note here is that we have obviously got the previous week high has already been swept. So if we do start breaking lower, then there's every chance, every possibility that we are going to attack the previous week low because it goes for highs and lows. But we are creating a particular range at the moment as well. So I would be very interested to see what's going to happen. But essentially, the same sort of situation is going to go. We need to break some of this structure to break lower if we are going to come lower. But at the moment, nothing like that has happened. So we need to be framing out previous session highs, session lows. You can see here, there's not really any divergence being created. I don't like that. I like to see price action essentially create nice areas of divergence. What we are currently doing at the moment is in some form of reversal back into this range here that's been created. So I feel like just looking at this sort of price action now, we could, I mean, essentially just measuring this area right now, we are pretty close. In fact, we are now in the discount. We've reacted in the discount. So on a smaller time frame, maybe we've reached this level of imbalance here. Maybe we do react and just carry on moving higher at the moment, because that's all structure is essentially telling us what to do. So until then, we've just got to sit on our hands and wait for an opportunity. But like I said, days like today are not days I would want to be trading. And I'm just keeping this super, super simple. And if I had now looking at this range, we've got premium area, discount, premium area, discount, premium area at the top, discount at the bottom. So as of now, this box right here on this 1 hour range is your discount area. So you would be looking to frame highs and lows. We've already swept the London session lows. We've mitigated into the Asian session areas. Once again, we can go to a smaller time frame here. And now it's a case of let's see if we can spot potential areas of divergence, because we can see here we have swept the Asian low right here. Let me just turn this one on. No. Is it that one? That one there. Perfect. So look at this. We've got divergence. Oh, no. We have. Look. So divergence here and here. So this, for me, would be very, very, I would want to see this move higher as of right now. But until, if we go onto a higher time frame, even though we swept the previous week high, we would need to see serious displacement to come lower first. So my current thinking at the moment is inside this discount area, anywhere inside here would do. If we see some form of inverse or fair value gap, something like that created, you could look to frame it to push towards this New York session high to carry on moving lower. My preference, looking at the 15-minute chart especially, would be to move inside this area, a little bit deeper into this area, especially if we measure the fib levels that I like to use, which are here. We're not even at 61, or you can call it 62% if you want, whatever, the 71%. These are levels I like to use. So I'd like to see us come lower, but it doesn't look like we are right now. And at the moment, that's okay. We don't have to. We don't have to come back into this fair value gap. And actually, the bigger these fair value gaps are here, it doesn't have to fill all of it. It only really has to fill 50% to be classed as validated. So it's going to be a case of now just seeing if some sort of area is given. I mean, even with this inverse right now, that is a potential for movement, but I do feel like I wouldn't be surprised to see this come lower, especially as we haven't really displaced just yet above here. We've kind of displaced above here, calling that an order block, but I would want to see a little bit more, at least on the 5 minute. I'd want to see this 5 minute candle displace first before trusting this area here. So essentially, I want a change in state of delivery on the 5 minute to then match up with a smaller time frame inverse or fair value gap, or both. A balanced price range would be a lot more preferable. I do like the fact that we have swept this liquidity. I don't like the fact that that is not yet in the 50% 50 area discount area. So essentially, I would rather price action come to this low here, because that is a logical low which is sitting in the discount area that you can see right there. But as of right now, we obviously haven't done it. So this is the thing, guys. Trading is all about areas of liquidity. This could easily play out, but I wouldn't be looking to play in here. I would be looking for that low there to be taken. Anyway, in terms of today, in terms of price action, until we are going to start moving out of this particular area here, Again, I'm just going to assume it's going to carry on moving bullish. The 1 hour, the 4 hour, everything's kind of giving us that move, but we have swept previous week highs. So let's see how this week pans out. I still wouldn't look to be doing much trading today. I wouldn't do any trading today. Hopefully you guys got some value from this, and I will speak to you guys on the next one. Have a great day, whatever you guys are up to.